Hello guys and welcome to Eye on the Storm. I am Gillyweed and joining me as my co-host and co-caster tonight is KiyeBerries. Hi KiyeBerries, how's it going?
Hello, Gilly. It's going fantastic. Thank you.
No problem. I'm excited to have you here. Guys, this is going to be a little bit different of a format for Eye on the Storm tonight. Normally, we have a session where we bring on a guest, we talk about what's happening in the game, in the community, and then we have a play session, but it's going to be all about the play session tonight as my normal co-host, Anna Prosser Robinson, is on a bunch of different trips, whirlwind week trip, was in Washington, D.C., and now she's heading to San Diego for Comic-Con. So we're going to be bringing on a whole bunch of streamers. We've got 10 of them, 10 hero streamers for you to check out, and we're going to be doing a show match between all of them.
This is going to be so much fun.
It is indeed. Of course, we're on the Misscliks channel, guys. If you're unfamiliar with Misscliks, this is a community dedicated to uplifting female role models in the geek and gaming scene. So we really love Misscliks. We're excited to be here, of course. And then you should definitely check out past episodes of Eye on the Storm, too, if you haven't seen them. You can find those on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Misscliks, just like the Twitch channel. But in the meantime, we should be hopping into the draft for our first match. It is going to be a best of 3, and our team names are Hello Team versus Playing for Keeps.
Playing for keeps, baby.
Keeps.
I like it.
Awesome. And we've got a whole bunch of streamers that we're going to get to tell you all about once we're in game as well. We're going to be really focusing on highlighting a lot of these personalities that we've got because there's a lot of amazing people in the hero scene like yourself, Kai.
Oh, thank you, Gilly. How about yourself?
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like I told the guys 1 minute, so we can go ahead and, I think, message them, tell them we're ready for draft.
Oh, I think they're ready. Draft starts in 1-0. Boom. They're doing it.
Here we go.
And they're on the battle for eternity. They're really ready to do this.
Yes, they are. So it looks like Hello Team has first pick, first ban. I will give you one hint as who is on the team. Hello Team. That would be Michael Udall himself. If you guys are unfamiliar, Michael Udall is a player on, what team is he playing on right now?
He was previously on Kappa Wolves. I'm not sure where he is hanging out right now. He's moved twice in the last week and a half. Hello, team. So it's hard to keep up with him. But he is most famous for playing for Arizona State University in the Heroes of the Dorm competition.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw him competing, it was on Michael Udall's team. That was the name of the team. So he frequents mini teams. He also streams a lot. So if you guys haven't seen his stream, it's twitch.tv/Michael Udall. He's one of those people who has decided to use his name as his in-game tag.
And it looks like Hello Team chose to ban out Sylvanas, very popular on every map ever in the history of Heroes of the Storm, and go ahead and pick Jaina, one of the strongest wizards in the game right now.
Yeah, they're going to have Jaina, but on the other side, playing for keeps also is Kael'thas. So both focusing on those strong wizards with a Zeratul ban. I'm not sure if you mentioned that. I was checking on something really fast. But we're going to have a ban on Zeratul. Very standard to see both Sylvanas and Zeratul as first bans.
Yeah, I'm not surprised there at all. Zeratul doing so much work lately. He pairs with so many teams, and particularly on this map, Battle for Eternity, you can make some really awesome plays with the Ziploc bag in those nooks and crannies, battling around the Immortals, dropping some really good Void Prisons that can help your team, so getting him banned out there. Playing for keeps doesn't want to deal with that.
Looks like you're a little bit loud, so why don't you keep talking for a second? I'm going to adjust you down a bit.
I've been told that before. This isn't the first time.
All right, guys, let me know how that works. From the time you hear this, so it should be turned down. 2-minute delay, lots of fun. All right, Playing for Keeps is going to pick up Rhaegar as their support of choice. Remember that they just had the 2 picks before we go into the second ban. That's how the second pick team, what they have to deal with is that they just get 2 picks before, once again, we have more banned out. But Hello Team actually gets to have 2 more picks before we'll see the next round of bans. What do you think we'll see them pick up here? Do you think we'll see our first warrior of the draft so far, maybe another support, or just more damage?
Yeah, I think a warrior would be a good answer. Now they know what direction Playing for Keeps has gone with their support. They've taken the fight dog. They know he's going to be up in the melee. He's going to have strong AoE healing. Probably an answer with a warrior. Maybe a Murden would be a good pick for them. But they're going with an Abathur. So they might be going with a very specific comp here with there it is. With Zeratul banned out, it's going to be the Butcher comp. Butcher, Abathur, Jaina, very strong and very fun.
I want to note to you guys right now that we gave these guys their team assignments about 10 to 15 minutes before we went live. So these guys haven't really all played together. They also really don't realize what their teammates are good at playing. So they're kind of having to draft under a little bit of duress here, which I think is probably pretty funny. And
some of them have never met each other before.
It's true. So we're going to see how that's going to work out. But I do really like Jaina with the Butcher. So we're seeing
I do
that,
as well.
Yeah, of course, having the slows. Butcher already can really get on somebody and stick on them, but having the slows on top of that just makes it even worse for somebody trying to get away from him. And most likely that might be Kael'thas, as he's a very squishy man with not a lot of escape.
Yeah, Kael'thas definitely a soft man. No escape until ever. And he might bring some of the biggest damage in the game, but that is not going to come until the late game, until level 16, really, is when Kael'thas starts to blossom.
Yeah, when he picks up that Ignite talent, which lets his flamethrower apply Living Bomb to enemies that it hits, that's when it really starts to power spike. And this is a battleground that is a bit smaller. It's not as maybe snowbally, say, as the Haunted Mines in that regard, in that the Immortals push whatever lane is strongest, but it is still, it's still going to move pretty quickly. So Playing for Keeps are definitely going to have to play for keeping him alive until the late game, when they can really get some usage and mileage out of that Flame Strike.
Speaking of keeping him alive, Playing for Keeps have gone ahead and banned out Malfurion, which would lead me to believe they're going to go ahead and pick up Uther. Uther would be the pick of choice for Hello Team. That Divine Shield would do a lot of work on Butcher when he goes and makes his engage. If they don't pick Uther right now, Hello Team, I'm going to say, would be guaranteed to pick him up, which would put Playing for Keep in a really bad healer situation. So I am really thinking Uther is going to be the next pick we have here. They've also gone ahead and drafted Murden, who is probably your best counter, your best pick against the Butcher. Murden able to dwarf toss himself in and Stormbolt the Butcher. However, they have changed my mind, or gone against what I was thinking, and picked Tassadar instead.
Yeah, so they're going to have still a 2 support team. They're going to be pretty sustainable, and their Hello Team immediately are going to go ahead and get the Uther and Johanna on top of that. Johanna synergizes so well. She plus Abathur are Anna's favorite composition. She calls
Very
it
strong.
Jobathur. Yeah, super strong. And on top of that, they're going to have the Divine Shield to help in case the Butcher gets a little bit too far forward, starts taking some damage. From there, of course, Johanna can condemn people back in, which means that it's just going to make it even more difficult for people to be able to escape that Butcher when they want to.
Right. This team that Hello Team has gone ahead and put together is very strong. I don't know if we can call it classic yet, since Butcher is new, but Butcher is pretty much filling that slot that Illidan, since his nerf, has left open.
Classic. Well,
What? Well, all right, and we see the answer with Zagara.
Yeah, so Zagara is still going to provide a lot of lane presence. She's also going to provide a ton of vision with her creep, which is going to be super key. In fact, they have such a great lock on vision already between Tassadar, who has that Oracle as his hero trait, and then creep for Zagara too. And vision is super important, especially in the center of this battleground, as there's a lot of places like nooks and crannies, and then just a lot of ways for you to be able to gank other team members fighting around those immortals. So that's going to be really nice for Playing for Keeps, all the vision that they're going to be able to have from there.
Definitely. Playing for Keeps also has some good protection for their soft man, their Kael'thas. They have Tassadar with his shields. They have Rhaegar with, I would imagine, an ancestral heal at level 10, but definitely those strong AoE heals with the chain heal. Hopefully they can keep their big damage up with Kel'Thas, and then perhaps a Maw on Zagara for their team fight CC.
Well, these teams are apparently letting us know that they just need a second to match up their skin tints.
Swag points are so important when you're playing with your team. Much like old school Gran Turismo, style points do make your race cars go faster. So you do need to make your skins match.
Especially when you have that race car Tassadar.
Absolutely.
Nightmare is playing. So it makes a lot of sense. You want that's those style points. You want to look good when you're in a show match as such as this.
If you're not familiar with Nightmare, of course, Nightmare plays for Stellar Lotus GG and also streams. He is a partnered Twitch streamer, and his emotes are adorable. They are kittens.
Yeah, he's got a tiger emote. He's even got, what is he? His newest one is Lag, and he's very proud of that one. So definitely check out that stream. He actually just did a 24-hour stream, too, which is pretty neat to see.
Yeah, I like Nightmare. He is a fun dude. It's going to be interesting introducing these teams since they're not team.
I know, right?
Hello, team.
Hello, team. That's going to be really fun to cast. I can't wait for that because we're going to have to slow down every time we want to talk about hello, team.
I've heard it so much, though, from both DeFebwar, who is also playing, and Michael Udall, so we can do it. I believe.
I believe in us as well. You mentioned DeFebwar, guys. We do have DeFebwar playing. You've seen her on Eye on the Storm a ton, of course, but she is also a seasoned Heroes of the Storm streamer. She streams some other stuff, too. She's actually got a really cool show called Master in Minutes where they play a bunch of different types of video games, but you can always check her out on twitch.tv/DeFebwar. Did you mention Nightmares?
No, I did just mention Nightmare.
I didn't know if you said his Twitch, that's all.
I didn't mention the Twitch address. No, I just mentioned that he was on Stellar Lotus.
Oh, okay. It's like Nightmare X. Hold on, got this. Oh no, I can't go back. I will find it for you guys. I will prevail. He's also hanging out in chat, so you can find him on there too and follow him. Let's go ahead and introduce these teams on Playing for Keeps in blue. We've got TBK on Rhaegar, Brosidon playing Kael'thas, ZPs playing Muradin, Keisha on the Zagara, and then Nightmare, who will be playing that race car Tassadar.
Okay, and on Hello Team in red, we have Mr. J Pickles, Michael Udall on the Butcher. We have, oh my gosh, I can't do it. Gigi on Uther. Inimical. Yeah, that's why I say I can't do it. Sarcasm on Abathur, and DeFebwar on Jaina.
Right, we're gonna load up some of these talents.
I can't do it. If you've never watched Mr. J Pickles, who is playing Johanna's stream, you really are missing out. He's an amazing caster and has the greatest mustache known to humankind.
It is a fantastic mustache. I would also recommend that you follow him definitely, but wait to follow him when he's streaming too, or like follow and then unfollow when he goes live right away and then follow him again, because he sings you welcome to the pickle jar, which is totally amazing. Looks like we might have a pause here.
Maybe that will give us a moment to introduce some more of our friends. How about Keisha, who is playing Zagara?
Yeah, Keisha is a member of TGN Squadron. We're very fond of Squadron, as Keisha is on a show with Kai and I on there, actually, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, you can see Keisha every Tuesday on Fight with the Femmes with myself and Gillyweed. Actually, you can see Keisha on every single TGN Squadron show. Mm-hmm. She is the top TGN Squadron moderator. She is that feminine voice in the background that you always hear.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing. She keeps Squadron running, and I know there's a ton of Squadron fans out in the community, so I'm sure you've heard of Keisha, but if not, definitely check out twitch.tv/TGN. That's where you can find all the Squadron shows, including Fight with the Femmes, and then on Twitter, it's TGN Squadron. I'm still looking for, there we go, Nightmare X334 is Nightmare's stream.
That couldn't be any harder. Thank you, Nightmare.
Well, he did say that somebody had already taken Nightmare, so it makes sense.
All right, fair enough. All right, and probably doesn't need any introduction, but how about from Playing for Keeps, aptly named, I guess we introduce ZPs, because ZP was too short for Twitch. Probably one of the longest standing Heroes of the Storm streamers, member of several pro teams. Now currently streaming for Tempo Storm.
Yeah.
ZP and playing Murden, his favorite role, playing the tank.
He is a fantastic streamer too. You can learn a ton from ZP since he has been playing for forever. And he's going to go in actually and get a stun on Michael Udall, who's taking a lot of damage, going to be picked up by the Gravity Labs. Going to try to get away, but taking a bunch of damage from the Hunter Killer that is on the chase. A good carapace though from Sarcasm is going to be able to save him. Good job, Abathur.
I like chat. We want ZP's comms or Riot. I'm sure they are pretty intense right now. ZP known for his intense and very technical plays.
Yeah, he definitely is, and they're doing work on Michael Udall here. He's really trying to go after this Kael'thas though. He's dropping the hamstring, gonna be running after him, and will be able to take him out.
That's what we were talking about, that Butcher with the Abathur hat doing a lot of work. Now they're gonna be able to get ZP, and down goes Murden as well.
Just in time for the first Immortal phase at that, so we're gonna start seeing Ilarion be burned down quite a bit here. Usually takes a while at the beginning, but with those respawns having to run back in, they've been able to take it down to halfway already.
Not bad at all. Yeah, these first Immortals, you have to spend a lot of time and put a lot of investment into getting them down. It can also not generally be worth it. The first Immortal's not as strong as you might hope. Even with a full shield, they don't always even get to an outer fort. However, we have a Zagara able to push Keisha here in the bottom lane, making some sneaky push, getting her creep down. Hopefully she can get through these towers for her team so that the Immortal can, if they require it.
Once again, we're trying to focus down Poseidon, and it looks like he's going to get a great Gravity Lapse to be able to keep everyone on Hello Team from being able to chase him down. So great job defending there by the skin of his teeth. That's really the only escape you can hope for other than your team to come in and save you when you're playing as Kael'thas, is to land a really good Gravity Lapse like that.
Right, and Gravity Lapse, a very effective CC if it can be landed. Poseidon having really good aim there. Well done.
Now, looking at some of these talents, we do have Tassadar picking up the mental acuity, so even more vision for them already. And it looks like Beleth will win the Immortal fight, so Hello Team is going to win the first Immortal round.
Hello, team.
Are you there?
I'm glad Febor and Udall got to be on Hello Team, since it is a trademark of both of them.
Yes, it does make a lot of sense. I am glad as well. Beleth is going to be pushing. It looks like Plan for Keep's going to be really on the defense here. And meanwhile, a split push happening from Hello Team. So instead of trying to push with that Immortal that you did mention is pretty weak, they're instead just going to push in the other lane. And that's going to help them be able to get more experience with those tower drops and pull ahead in front of their opponents.
Absolutely. ZP is in the bottom lane, attempting to solo defend against 4 members of the enemy team. Maybe not very effective. He does live through the exchange, loses 2 towers, though.
Interesting look at these builds. Abathur not really going for like the Adrenal Overload 4, instead going full on Toxic Nest build.
I can see the reasoning though for the Toxic Nest build. There's so many nooks and crannies and places you can predict fights happening in this center lane where the Immortals spawn. He's probably going to get a lot of value out of those nests. Really cool planning by Sarcasm.
Yeah, and on top of that too, you know, like the vision is so prolific on the opponent's teams on Plan for Keeps with the creep and the Oracle and even the mental acuity choice at level 4 as well. So the nests are going to also help a little bit with that vision too, especially, you know, if somebody walks over them, hello, we know where the team's at.
True.
All right, well, and you mentioned Sarcasm. Well, actually, we might have an engagement here. Gravity Lab's going to go down on the Butcher, who is going to drop the hamstring once again and be able to take out Kael'thas. Now ZP and TPK both getting pretty low. TPK going to go down. A great condemn goes down and pulls Murden back into the fight just in time to be able to take it out. Mr. J Pickles trying to body block, but his team's more interested in these bruisers here.
That was definitely a favorable engagement for Hello Team, taking a lot of kills there. They are almost a full level ahead of Playing for Keeps.
All right, we mentioned sarcasm, and then we got interrupted by a team fight just a little bit. Heaven forbid that happens in a Heroes game. Sarcasm is another awesome Heroes streamer. You guys can find him on twitch.tv/sarcasm, and he's also really trying to get into Heroes casting as well. So I've actually done a couple of practice casts with him. It was a lot of fun, so definitely check him out.
I like his Abathur placement. He isn't showing a lot of fear here, right up by the gate. I'm anticipating him to move forward once this top mercenary camp is taken. I'm watching him very closely for that.
Yeah, and he also can kind of see where the rest of the team is thanks to these immortal fights, so that helps too. He can start to move up, throw down some more locusts from there.
Yeah, this is a surprisingly good map for Abathur. You get to watch the teams move around. They don't spend as much time in lane, so you can sneakily move forward and place your locust and then move backwards. Should be a fun map to watch where sarcasm moves himself to, or if he spends all of his time behind a wall.
Yeah, we actually did see him forward in this lane just a bit ago too, so now we're going to see Butcher and Jaina coming down to kind of join this immortal fight. Hello Team has picked up their heroic abilities, so we see Playing for Keeps moving back. That's because they know that they can't really deal with a team fight where their opponents have heroics and they do not. What heroics did we see Hello Team pick up, Kai?
Looks like Hello Team has Blessed Shield for Johanna, Furnace Blast for the Butcher, Divine Shield for Uther, Ultimate Evolution for Abathur, and Summon Water Elemental for Jaina.
Oh, Zagara getting caught out just a bit there. Does get taken out. That's going to make Hello Team feel even more safer in this immortal fight as they're taking down Ilarion very quickly here. We should most likely see an immortal phase once again going toward Hello Team.
Hello Team, and this is also a 9 versus 10 battle, definitely in favor of Hello Team. 8-minute Immortal, going to have a little more strength, make a little more push for them. He is moving into the bottom lane this time, which is already pushed in for them. If you remember during the first Immortal, they made that split push. The towers are already down, so he's going to move in onto the bottom outer fort.
All right, well, ZP got caught out there up in the top end. It looks like, yes, because he's going to be moving down toward the bottom. Once again, we have a split push happening for Hello Team. They're going to be able to take out that fort on top. We did see a little bit of a push happening for our blue team Playing for Keeps, but they're going to move back, start defending. It looks like Bellic might even be able to take this keep down. No, they were able to use that Phoenix to defend it. It's, of course, on a very low cooldown timer, which is really nice for them as well.
Speaking of Phoenix, Playing for Keeps has hit level 10. They have picked up their heroic abilities. They're going to have Archon for Tassadar, of course Phoenix for Kael'thas, Ancestral Healing for Rhaegar, Devouring Maw for Zagara, and Avatar for Merman.
Oh, and we're going to have a team fight there. A huge charge from Michael Udall comes in. The first black just helps eliminate Kael'thas. Now they're running after TBK, who's going to Ghost Wolf, try to get away, but Kadim's going to pull him right back into the fight. He's going to have to Ancestral himself. ZP's getting very, very low. He's going to Dwarf Toss away. Keisha going to throw the Hunter Killer on. That's going to help push back, maybe even take out a Nimical, who's getting very, very low. No, a great Regen Globe actually saves the day on that one. We're going to see Hello Team move away. They're starting to get low here, and Playing for Keeps know it. They're going to start to push back a bit.
We did talk about swag points in the beginning. I want to throw out really quick. Hello, team. I like your Hearthstone card swag and red coloring. Very nice. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, red and they're red. It's beautiful. It's a work of art.
It is. It is.
All right. Well, we do have the top sieges being picked up by
Before I first look at swag, oh, we missed him. Abathur in the bottom lane. He had moved all the way forward, practically to the fort of Playing for Keeps, getting his Locust all the way in there. You can see they were at almost full duration on the fort, and now they've taken down the fort and the tower. ZP coming to clear minions. Very well done.
Well, it's a little bit unfortunate for Playing for Keeps as the next Immortal phase is going to spawn, and once again they're at a disadvantage in terms of levels because their opponents have picked up level 13 talents, and they've got Blessed Champion on Uther. You're a big Uther player. What do you think of that talent?
Okay, looking at Blessed Champion, after using Holy Light, your next basic attack heals nearby allies for 30% of the healing amount. Not something I would say normally taken, but since they're in such a position of power, it's something you can take when you're in a high position. Your other choices on there are maybe more popular, but when you're not spam healing or in a position where you see yourself worrying about your teammates, sure. You're attacking more than you're perhaps defending.
Right.
That would be a viable choice.
Makes sense. Makes sense. We mentioned too that we want to get Kael'thas up to 16, or well, playing for keeps do, and it means that they've got to play. Well, they really need to get to 13 here and get back up, but they also probably need to start turning this around a bit as they've already lost both their forts. Now Michael Udall's coming in and he's divine shielded too, and he's going after Poseidon, going to drop the Furnace Blast, but doesn't take him out. So now they can turn this a little bit and start throwing out damage. Devouring Maw has picked up to a couple of people, and a great one at that, because there goes the Butcher, but unfortunately Rhaegar is down.
The Phoenix zoning worked really well, taking down the Butcher. Unfortunately, it was not strong enough to turn around the rest of the team fight, losing 3 members of Playing for Keeps.
Yeah, and I really think that just comes down a lot to the fact that it was a 13 versus 12, and they didn't quite have the same talent tier. They've got it now, though. So unfortunately, they're going to have to wait just a little bit to be able to come back up. But there's still a little bit of time, as this Immortal's not dropping down super fast. So although it's going to get to the midway point, it's possible they could come back in here and make something happen.
The bravery from ZP, the solo Muradin, ready to take on 3 people. In he goes to defend his Immortal.
Yeah, we're going to see Hello Team back off just a bit. They've got 15, so they know their opponents are on the same talent tier as them, and I think they'd rather just see getting 16 before they get into another team fight. But they've got that advantage as well. We've seen Sarcasm using some really good ultimate evolutions. He did on Jaina on the last one too, so that's a lot of damage output for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaina is such a strong hero with such strong zoning and AoE potential. A great choice for ultimate evolution. His other choice would, of course, really be Butcher. I wouldn't see that being as strong of a choice in a team fight to pick up Butcher. You have no stacks of blood, you have no talents. Jaina probably a stronger one out of the game.
Yes, definitely. That's definitely a good point. We've got Playing for Keeps trying to defend their Immortal. They know that they're kind of on the back foot in terms of Immortals. If they could take somebody down, then maybe they could turn around and take down their opponent's Immortal instead. So they're just going to play pretty careful here. Unfortunately, that does mean the passive soak is going toward Hello Team, who's almost 16. If Playing for Keeps want something to happen, it's got to be very soon, or Hello Team are going to once again be up a full talent tier here.
A full talent tier, a very important talent tier as well. Level 16, some of the most important damaging talents that you can get. It would really be a bad time for Playing for Keeps to engage once 16 is hit by Hello Team.
Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe they should have just rotated around and tried to deal a whole bunch of damage to their opponent's Immortal, so the shield won't be quite as strong, but now they're just going to have to sit back a bit, try to gain some experience, try to, of course, defend this Immortal push as well. And Keisha getting caught out here, going to be in the Furnace Blast, will be taken out by it. ZP is going to have to Dwarf Toss away if he can even do so. He's taking a lot of stuns, going to be healed right back up by TDK.
There are those 16 talents. We have Northern Exposure, Adrenaline Boost, Benediction for Uther, very nice. Blood Frenzy and Johanna. Mr. J Pickles taking his time, and he picked up Blessed Hammer.
Yeah, so it's going to be even more damage and right around Johanna. I love the Burning Rage and Blessed Hammer together because it just means that Johanna's going to be doing so much passive experience around her once she drops that Condemn as well. So that's a ton of damage for a team that already is doing a whole bunch of damage, as evidenced by the fact that that keep is going down very quickly and will be taken down by a very full health Immortal.
Uther there getting mauled by Keisha. Doesn't look like it's enough, though, to stop the onslaught. ZP getting very low, popping Avatar. Will it save him? Dwarf tossing into the back. He does live, but they're in the fountain regenning. The demon is on their core, and he's still very, very healthy.
Flame Strike's going to go down. It's not going to be an ignited Flame Strike, though, but it will at least push them back a bit. They've got to get this Immortal off their core. It hasn't really done any permanent core damage yet, though, so they are going to be able to take it down. It's only at 98%.
So much push has been already done now by Hello Team. The entire bottom lane is open and exposed. The top lane, only that inner keep remains, and it has, of course, at full health, but it has no walls, no gates keeping it up. It is completely exposed. All of the buildings, all of the towers remain. Just one little itty-bitty wall down for Hello Team. Playing for keeps would really have to make a very strong 2-level comeback to get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, they've definitely got to take a couple of team fights handily. And this entire time, Sarcasm was pushing the top lane, and so that means the lane has been pushed almost up to the keep there. The towers are down as well, and now we're seeing Hello Team rotate up to that, knowing that their opponents just took a Merc camp on bottom. This is a huge position for them to be in because they're dealing a ton of damage here to this keep. They're gonna have to move away. They're CZPs. They know they're on the same talent tier. They know that they don't want to get too overly aggressive. They also know that we've got Ignite now on Kael'thas.
They have, however, dumped 2 full mercenary camps on top of them. Playing for keeps is going to have to clear this out and answer to it. This gives Hello Team time to move to wherever they need to be on the map. They can go clear out the bottom lane. They can get in position for these immortals.
Spawn him, spawn him. Oh, they did not see him.
Spotted the slug to Abathur escape. However, Playing for keeps needed to answer to this top lane push. They could not chase Hello Team.
Well, we've got Immortals once again, guys, and both teams on the same talent tier, but we're kind of in the same situation we were last time, where Hello Team is pretty close to their final talent tier, their final evolution, if you will. Looks like they're going to be content to kind of move around. They're looking for their opponents a bit, it seems, but their opponents are hanging out near their own Immortal, and that's kind of the beauty of these fights, is trying to figure out, do we defend, do we attack, where are they?
Well, unfortunately, all of Hello Team are hanging out in Zgara's creep spread right now.
Yeah.
So all of Playing for Keeps know where they are. If Hello Team does not know where their opponents know where they are. And there was an Oracle drop as well, just to confirm what they already knew, thanks to that creep spread all throughout the middle here. It is purple for days.
Yeah, Brosidon and Keisha are dealing a ton of damage, though, to this Immortal, but it looks like Defebvar and Michael Udall are maybe going to try to run in and take out the keep when it gets close. That is what they're going to do. They're going in, they're going straight after the keep. They're going to be able to do a ton of damage. There's no way that Plan for Keeps can rotate down to this, so they've lost their keep. Maybe they can at least win the Immortal battle here, as the Hello Team Immortal is halfway down.
All right. So taking down that keep, I would assume they are hoping to snag that Immortal and push through the top lane. Hello, team.
Oh man, well, level 20 is here, and it means that 2 heroes are already down for Playing for Keeps, but Jaina is down on the side of Hello Team, so they still are taking people down. Unfortunately, Zagara is going to go down. Nightmare is going to have to Oracle or Dimensional Shift for his life. ZP is going to have to do the same with a good Dwarf Toss. He's really trying. He's going to be charged into and stunned by Inimical GG, by Michael Udall, and now he's going to Dwarf Toss out. It's going to be too late. Murden will go down. This might be GG.
4 out of 5 members down and exposed for no one really to stop them. They're letting those angels whack at each other. Of course, the angels even do no damage to each other, actually. That is all for show. Nothing happening in the middle. Down goes the core, 20%, 10% GG indeed in the first game. This is a best of 3, correct, Gilly?
It is a best of 3. We've got Hello Team winning that, but it's still anyone's series.
Yeah, that is true. So, Hello Team, you've taken game number 1, but you will have to defend that position in game number 2.
Exactly right. All right, gonna hop over to the cams. So what did you think of those teams? Was it composition? Was it just getting caught out?
Yeah, probably getting caught out in the early game especially. Hello Team was very dominant. They used their very strong roam and engage especially to dominate the early game, take a strong lead, and Playing for Keeps never came back. They were not able to push back at all. They had a lot of vision. They had a really strong vision comp on Zagara, but they didn't use any of that knowledge to make any picks. So they stayed at least one talent tier behind the whole time, and that did not do them any service in those team fights. That lead that was built up in the beginning by Hello Team, that was too much, unfortunately, to be made up by Playing for Keeps.
Yeah, it seems like the more I cast the Battlefield of Eternity, that kind of seems to be the case where if you're down a talent tier, you really have to start getting creative with ways to come back, because if your opponents are messing with the immortal fights, then maybe you need to try to go take a whole bunch of mercenary camps so that you have a counter push going on. Or maybe if you would like to be defending but you just can't because of the talent tier, you go and try to throw a bunch of damage on their immortal as much as you can while playing, like, being at a safe location so that you can hurry and try to disengage, but still so you're not facing an immortal with just a huge shield, because that shield really does make the difference in how easy it is to take down that immortal.
Right, especially in the late game when the immortals do have a wicked amount of health and damage, that shield can be devastating. The early game, maybe not so much, they're not so strong, but post 8 minutes, I would throw a number out there, they start to really scale.
I agree. Well, guys, we're going to take a very, very quick break. Just go to a BRB screen while we get the next game set up. And when we come back, game 2 of the Streamers Showmatch and more Twitch channels for you to follow. So stay tuned.